Audience, welcome to the final video of biases. Okay, so today we are going to end the biases. There are total of 76 plus biases I already teach you in this particular series. Okay, you can watch the playlist, and there are so many detailed videos around these 76 plus biases with really good detailed presentations. Okay, now we are moving towards the final thing. This is where we are going to end. Okay, and watch this video, final video, in 1.5x and 2x, because then we are going to move towards the next chapter of our, the idea, the whole idea of this particular channel. I named this with rewards stamina, but actually the name was not that good. Okay, so the it's all basis on research, right? What kind of things behind it, what are the perspectives? There are 8 different perspectives which can be used as bias. Okay, and there are some certain applications which you can use, and this is where we are going to end this, and then I'm going to tell you what is next. So let's go on, guys. Reward prediction, variable reward prediction, or reward prediction error. This is the kind of a bias. Okay, the impact of unpredictability on user engagement. It is very much connected to all the 76 biases. Okay, whatever I am going to tell you in these next whole concept. Okay, the color, yeah, color, I think this is going to work. Yeah, so whatever I am going to teach you in this particular final video, it is going to be applied on everything I already taught you. So neglect this particular image. I don't know why AI created this kind of image. So variable reward explained. We are more engaged when rewards are unpredictable. The brain fires harder for surprise than certainty. Variable rewards significantly enhance user engagement by creating excitement and anticipation. Users are more likely to return regularly for the chance to discover unexpected bonuses, fostering a habit of interaction. That's where Duolingo actually get all the marks, right? Because Duolingo works on this particular principle. Even games, okay, game developers use this tactic. They make games so engaging. They make the excitement, the anticipation, the final boss, right? The final challenge, the the keep building. They create stakes more great, or sometimes there is no stake, but there is a kind of a, what we say, the plot twist, right? There are some plot twist exist in that story. That's why you get hooked to that particular game. Those characters feel more believable, right? So this is the particular bias which is connected to these 76 plus biases. Mental fatigue. What is mental fatigue? So guys, like, before going on, the mental fatigue is very much connected to the examples, and it also connected to the variable reward explained, right? The thing is that users check apps more often when random bonus badges or surprise coupons are offered, right? But this can also lead to mental fatigue, I will tell you. Gamified platforms use mystery boxes or spin wheels to boost retention, right? To boost retention. But this can also can cause mental fatigue, right? And you know why it can cause mental fatigue? Because overstimulation, right? Overstimulation can actually create the mental fatigue. Or if something is much more complicated, right? Much more complex. Or you are giving so many information in one go. Okay, if the game starts and at the very starting point of the game, for the 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes you are doing nothing but watching a story, right? A story, a boring story where you are doing nothing with that particular remote you have. So you are going to feel the boredom, right? You do not care for the character because you don't even use that character, because you are in a game. You want to use that character, you want to, check the whole world. Then you want to get into that story, what is the behind the scenes story of this particular character, right? Understanding ego depletion effect on users. Fatigue can lead to reduced self control and decision making stamina, impacting user engagement. Long tasks and challenging puzzles often cause users to drop off or skip important steps. That's why short videos get higher percentage of views, right? Higher percentage of engagement rather than long form content, right? Long form content get low, right? So that's the thing. The example can be, right, like, oh, example I already give you. So I have written so many things just repetitively, right? Yeah, so next is selection bias. Unrepresentative samples in research. What does that mean? When the sample used in research isn't representative of the whole population, leading to skewed results. For example, feedback from power users misguides general UX audience. Feedback from power users. Power users are those who are, very much either new or very different, have their different perspectives. So this much connected to the audience perspective. Okay, so feedback from power users misguides general UX decision. Surveying only active subscribers misses pain point of churned users. If you're only going to ask questions from the active users of your particular service or app, you are actually missing the point why others are not using your application, because there must be a pain point. That's why they are not actually looking for your app, right? Selection bias occurs when research samples do not accurately represent the entire population. This can lead to misleading conclusion, as seen when feedback is collected only from active users. Survivorship, right? Survivorship, selection bias. Yeah, selection bias was very much connected to this. Okay, so guys, selection bias is also connected to this and this. Okay, the mental fatigue. That's why I'm just making the whole concept here very much connected. Okay, everything here, all 8 biases here are connected, and they are connected to the 76 biases. Okay, so this is just a bonus video. Survivorship bias. Ignoring failures leads to false conclusions, right? Survivorship bias. Survivorship bias occurs when designers only study successful projects, ignoring failures. By understanding both success and failures, we can make better informed decision and avoid repeating that same mistake done by the failures, right? Feedback from power users misguide general UX decision. The same thing again, right? Sir, the same thing, copying popular apps without studying the ones that failed. Copying the popular apps without studying those who are failed. Popular apps, like, you know every single time when a developer want to create something, they always go for, oh, I will create new Facebook, Instagram, Netflix, right? Netflix. But these things are not going to be that much, the profit and the scalability is the biggest issue when you are creating these kind of similar apps. even though there is a proof of success, but failures are have so many failure exist. So many social media platforms failed to engage, no, failed to take the market, right? So that's the thing, guys. Highlighting successful campaigns while ignoring the ones that flopped, that flopped, right? Highlighting successful campaigns while ignoring the ones that flopped. That's the thing. So, publication bias. Understanding unbalanced research findings. Publication bias occurs when positive results are favored over negative ones, leading to an incomplete understanding of research outcomes. This can skew perception and misguide future decision in design and marketing. That's the thing. The example can be that case studies, right? Case studies overstate impact. Case studies overstate impact because of failed experiment are not reported. Okay, failed experiment are not reported. Case study overstate impact because failed experiments are not reported, right? Agencies showcase wins but hide low performing campaigns. Agencies, marketing agencies, right? They always showcase win but they always hide low performing campaigns. Low performing campaigns, right? That's the thing. Recall bias. Understanding memory distortion effects. Recall bias occurs when individuals misremember past experiences, leading to skewed insights. This can greatly affect user feedback and decision making, emphasizing the need for accurate data collection method. Case studies overstate impact because failed experiments are not reported. Agencies showcase wins but hide low performing campaigns. We have already told you, right? So, in the recall bias, the user interviews conflict with actual usage logs. User interviews conflict with actual user usage logs, right? Usage log. A user says I always use this feature. Okay, a user say I always use this feature, but data shows that they rarely use that particular feature, right? The data showing that they are not going to use that particular feature. That's called the recall bias, guys. The observe expectancy effect. How research can influence results. The observer expectancy effect occurs when researchers inadvertently influence participants, leading to biased responses. This can skew findings and obscure true user behavior, impacting design decisions, right? So the example here can be like, leading questions in usability test distort user responses. Leading questions, lead based questions in usability test distort user responses. Always distort user responses. A moderator's excitement makes users overrate a feature. Okay, a moderator excitement makes users overrate a feature. That's the thing. The Hawthorne effect. How observation influences behavior. This effect occurs when individuals change their behavior simply because they are being observed. They are being observed. We have already gone from the halo horn effect, right? The halo horn effect, the spotlight effect. These are actually working here, guys. Okay, so this occurs when individuals change their behavior simply because they are being observed. This phenomenon highlights the impact of awareness on performance and decision making. So there is a the problem where, okay, a person single-handedly can have very different kind of thoughts, right? A different kind of thought, different kind of thinking, different kind of decision. He will make different kind of decision if he is alone. But when he is crowded by so many people, his decision suddenly changed, right? His decision changed, his thinking changed, his belief changed. Why? Because others are believing something else. For example, this is what happened in a school, in a very elementary level school. Teacher actually asked so many students, and they asked a particular question. Example, they asked question like, hey, what is 2 plus 2? Now first student actually gave the answer as 2 plus 2 equals 4. Okay, 2 plus 2 equals 4. Teacher scolded him that 2 plus 2 is not 4 but 5. Then again, teacher asked someone else, what is 3 plus 3? Now student thought, what should be the answer? The teacher asked someone else, and the student gave the answer as 7. 3 plus 3 is 7. Okay, 3 plus 3 is 7. So now the bias is already in the effect, right? Because now the next question could be like 4 plus 4, and students are going to give as answer not 8 but 9. Okay, automatically adding plus 1, even though the answer is 8, right? That's the thing. So guys, this is where the surprise, where challenge yourself to embrace unpredictability in design. These are just a practical application. Okay, reflect on potential sampling issues in your research. Identify if users experience stamina decline in tasks, okay, in your particular game development or application. Just think about it. Data, consider if you are overlooking negative insights from users, right? Writing prompts, guys, reflect on a time you felt motivated. The time when you felt motivated. Describe a moment when you rushed through tasks, right? Write about a research decision that was influenced. Recall another instance where fatigue affected your work. Your work get affected by the fatigue you have, right? Mitigation, incorporate unexpected elements to enhance user engagement. Break tasks into manageable steps to maintain flow. Analyze failures alongside successes for balanced insights. Diversify research samples to capture broader user experiences. Conduct your experiments to validate case study claims. Right? Team exercises. Assess feedback for potential influence factors. Identify which rewards users expect consistently. Compare observed actions with actual user behavior. Highlight areas where user experience drop off. If you are using application like Maze, just go Google search. Okay, just go Google search this particular tool, Maze. This is actually helpful for UX designers. Okay, UX designers. This is actually helpful for UX designers, so you can learn this thing. Personal manifesto creation. Yeah, this it's all about right. You have to write a short paragraph here where you are talking about like how they plan to incorporate these insights. You just ask yourself, right? Ask yourself about these 76 plus biases, where these things actually affected your life professionally, financially, in your life, decision making, right? And these are the ending point where 6 ethical bias based principles that shape honest high conversion design. So, design clarity. Use contrast and salience bias to highlight the most important action. Trust building. For trust building, combine these biases like authority or social proof bias or clean design to earn credibility. Okay. Choice architecture. What is choice architecture? Using these biases, guide decisions with default bias or anchoring bias, but keep option honest and minimalist, right? Motivation loops. What are the motivation loops? Blend goals with gradient effect or Zeigarnik effect and variable rewards effect to drive completion. Okay. Information framing. Present benefits clearly, quantify cost and disclose trade offs or limits, whatever. Research rigor. Avoid bias traps with diverse samples and honest testing. Okay, so guys, this is where we are ending this complete journey of everything. We have done the, yeah, here I have written 50 plus, but actually 76 plus biases. You have studied 76 plus biases. You have seen how humans think, distort, and decide. Now, now you know how to apply it ethically, powerfully, and clearly. This is the end of the bias series, but it's the beginning of something bigger. Something bigger is coming. Next up, we will see the thinking models. We will build frameworks, design loops, and storytelling engines that move people, not just nudge them. That's the thing. So guys, this is the final video, saying like bye bye. The final video, and this is where we are going to give you the bye bye of these biases and moving towards the next part, the big part. Keep it simple and build it bold. And guys, subscribe the channel, right? Subscribe the channel, like the video, share it, or just watch the whole playlist. There is so much value here, guys. There is so much value. Even though the views are very less, but I didn't stop continuing this particular series. I i had this mind that yes, I have to figure out the content creation, what I am making. Okay, and I had this mind that why not, whatever I'm learning in books, whatever I am learning through my coaches or mentors, why not teach you what I am applying, right? So that's what I'm actually doing in my real life. Yes, I also not remember everything. You should always not remember anything, right? I'm not in that zone of memorizing these biases. You just have to understand, right? Just understand what is going on in these biases, these concepts, right? And apply in your design, in your business, in your life, and that's how things are going to get improved. With these biases, you are not going to get manipulated easily, right? You are going to be manipulation free, right? The manipulation is everywhere, guys. Everyone is manipulating you, so you have to be manipulation proof. These biases are going to make you the manipulation proof, right? So great, we are moving toward the thinking. Okay, thinking part. I am thinking of making the first video as first principle thinking. Yeah, first principle thinking. Do you know about first principle thinking? So I am thinking of this particular video. Okay, first principle thinking, and maybe the presentation would be different, and maybe the way I am showcasing the visuals are going to be different in the next videos. Okay, so first principle thinking is loved by so many guys. Elon Musk also used first principle thinking. Okay, and you will learn everything in this channel, so subscribe. Okay, and this is where we end this particular biases, and we are moving toward something big thing. So bye bye.